Well, Chicago now becomes a second city in the country requiring hotels to have panic buttons for their employees. This all grew out of stories that you've seen in the news of sexual harassment, abuse in the hotel service industry. In Chicago, the new tool is meant to help the 15,000 workers in that industry. Joining us now to explain, to talk a little bit more about this, Rosa Escareño, Chicago's Commissioner for Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, as well as Karen Kent, who leads Unite Here Local 1, which represents some of these workers. Thank you to the both of you for coming in. This is a great panel. Let's start with how this even came about. We all remember a few years back stories out of New York where hotel workers felt like they were threatened, sexually harassed, sexually abused. Were we seeing those problems here in Chicago as well?
You know, we had a few years ago, somebody reported an incident of sexual harassment. We thought we really better know the facts about it. And we went and did a study. 500 hotel workers were surveyed by a team of our women and went in one by one. 49% of the housekeepers that we surveyed reported that they'd seen a guest naked or had a guest flash them or expose themselves. That's just one of the statistics, but it was shocking.
Yeah, it is very stunning. And the interesting part, and why we find this so interesting within Adelante and our viewership, is that a lot of hotel employees are young Latinas, right? And so they're in predicaments and situations where they don't know what to do. They're scared of letting their employer know. You think this is going to help? A button is going to help them kind of come forward?
You know, I think actually the whole discussion about this over the last several years has really helped to empower women and women of color, low-wage women, immigrants, and people who are usually oftentimes voiceless, as you said. But I think that this campaign and the discussions and the support from all the allies, the city, the Chicago Fed, has really lifted up this issue and given people much more confidence, and we're going to work with everybody to continue to make sure that people feel empowered.
Let's bring Rosa into the conversation, because it'll be your job to make sure that this is enforced and that some of these hotels are following protocol. How do you do that? How do you enforce it and make sure it's happening?
Certainly the ordinance is the driving tool to ensure compliance across the city. I will tell you that in our conversations with the hospitality industry, they are very much willing to work with us on this. I am in regular conversations with them. We understand the value and the importance of the hospitality industry in Chicago. And because our tourism numbers continue to grow, this is a very viable industry, and I think the hotel operators want to do the right thing. The ordinance gives me a lot of tools to ensure compliance of the panic button and a full policy that they are now required to have in place to ensure that they are addressing not only ensuring that every worker that goes into a hotel room who is working by themselves or into a restroom, that they are designated a panic button, and then that panic button, in accordance with the law, must be connected then to an immediate response system, whether it's a supervisor that is going to respond immediately via a cell phone, or a system with the HR department to respond immediately. So the ordinance is what gives me the tools to actually enforce, and we will use the ordinance to do so.
And so walk me through how this works. Is it like an actual, like a car alarm, or like a garage door opener? Is that what we're talking about here?
You know, the panic buttons device, people will have it on their person. It's what you will be able to push the button and wirelessly alert the security or whoever's been designated to respond if somebody feels like they're in danger. We've heard of people involved in the training, some of the folks, as this has gone in different places, they've gone through, checked it, made sure that they can locate somebody if they're in distress, but it's certainly...
And I think to this point, the ordinance is actually very clear. It's less about how it looks and the functionality of it. It is a device that it must be given and must be, the employee must be able to wear it or have it on their person, and at any given time they can press this button, and that the system works to address and be providing immediate response to that employee who may feel that they are in distress or that they are unsafe. We will be verifying and checking where needed, or if a complaint comes in that these devices are not working, we will be verifying.
And this went into effect July 1st. Have you had any complaints so far? Anybody press that button?
Well, we have not heard any complaints,
Okay,
but I
nothing
will
yet.
tell you that on July 1st, I called the industry and indicated to them, I'm just letting you know that I want to
Heads up,
work
yeah.
together, and we will be out there just doing some verification. I think the industry is just making sure that they do everything right, but we are prepared to respond if needed.
Is there any sort of worry that maybe the workers will feel like, I don't want to put anyone out, I don't want to be a problem, I'm scared to press the button and cause, kind of some commotion? Do you worry about that, and how do you address that? There's the fear of retaliation, right?
Sure.
That their employer will then say, oh, she's pressed the button 2 or 3 times, we don't want to work with her anymore, right?
Sure. Well, I think that working with our partners is really important in ensuring that the employees understand that they are going to be supported. The ordinance is very specific about anti-retaliation. So when an employee whether they complain or they press the button, the employer, the hotel, is by ordinance required to give them time to file a police report. And if we get any reports that there is retaliation as a result of them filing a complaint, then the hotel can face fines and penalties as a result of that. So we're going to be paying close attention.
We'll be watching. Thank you so much to the both of you for coming in. Important topic. There is a website that you can visit, handsoffpantson.org. You can visit there for more information about this ordinance.